Hey guys, good to see you again. I think you guys are going to like video lessons for the fact that if I talk fast, you can always go back and replay whatever you need to. So you can replay the example problems again. Say I did something really fast and I talk, and you're like, whoa, I got to go back and see it again. Well, just rewind it and go watch it again, okay? For this lesson, you're going to need a pencil, you're going to need paper, you're going to need a calculator. So go grab those things real quick, pause the video, and go grab those things, okay? When we very first started this unit, we started by finding fraction of a whole. And so we brought up these 3 points. Fraction of whole is part of the whole. And we talked about pizza a lot. So if I have 2/3 of 15, let's say that my pizza has 15 pieces of pizza in it, and I ate 2/3 of those 15 pieces of pizza. Well, we started off just by thinking about it. Well, if I have 15 pieces of pizza and I ate 2/3 of it, 1/3 of 15 is going to be 5. So 2/3 is going to be 10. I must have eaten 10 pieces of pizza. Okay, then we kind of converted, instead of just thinking about it, we started thinking of it as an equation instead, and we replaced the word of with the times sign. So I've got 2/3 times 15, and we replaced the word is with an equal sign. And I'm going to put 15 over 1 just to make it look like a fraction. We did some canceling, and 2 times 5 is still 10. And so we changed it. We started thinking it maybe more of as an equation, which really came in handy whenever we changed this word fraction to a percent. Okay, so now we've started doing percent of whole is part of the whole. And so if I have 20% of 15 is what? So I've got 20%. I'm going to replace the word of with a times sign. Of 15, I'm going to replace the word is with an equal sign. Is what? And so we use our calculator. So get your calculator out. We're going to change 20% to a decimal. 20% is a decimal is 0.2. Just move the decimal point 2 places to the left. Times 15, so 0.2 times 15 is going to be 3. And then, of course, we always check to see if that makes sense. Does that seem like a reasonable answer? Does 20% of 15, could that be 3? Should I have gotten a number less than 15? Yeah, 20% of 15 is going to be less than 15, right? Okay, so up to this point, you've always been given the percent, and you've always been given the whole. And then we've always been asked to figure out what the part is. Well, starting today, you might be missing the percentage or you might be missing the whole. You have to kind of figure out and set up your equation of, okay, what am I missing? And then we're going to solve that, okay? So let's look at some of those. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this, okay. There we go. Okay, so I've got 30% of what number is 27. So I'm just going to replace this number sentence into a mathematical equation. 30% of means times what number? I'm going to put a question mark there. Is means equals 27. So this time we're missing that whole number. 30% of something is supposed to be 27. So I'm going to treat this like an algebra problem is how I always treat them. I draw my dotted line down the equal sign here. This is my variable. This is my unknown. This is the multiplication problem. How do you undo multiplication? We divide. So I'm going to divide by 30%. But instead of percentage, I'm going to go ahead and convert that to a decimal right now. So I'm going to divide by 0.3. And then I'm going to divide this side by 0.3. So I'm going to punch in my calculator 27 divided by 0.3. And that is 90. So my question mark must be 90. Now I'm going to go back and see if this answer makes sense. 30% of 90 is 27. 30%, well, I can try that. I'm going to punch in 0.3 times 90. And yep, I got 27. So that has to be right, okay? So 30% of 90 is 27. Okay, let's try another one. 12 is 40% of what number? Kind of mix the words around this time on you, trying to confuse you. You know I like to do that. So 12, the word is means equals. 40%, the word of means times. Of what number? I'm going to replace that with a question mark. Okay, this time my equal sign is over here. Again, I'm missing the whole. 40% of something is supposed to be 12. Here's my variable. How do I undo multiplication? Well, we're going to divide. What do I need to divide by? I need to divide by 40%. But instead of 40%, I'm going to go ahead and convert that to a decimal. So I'm going to divide by 0.4, and then I'm going to divide this side by 0.4. So I've got 12 divided by 0.4 is going to be 30. So my unknown, kind of didn't leave myself very much room there, is 30. So I'm going to see if that makes sense. 40% of 30 is 12. I could punch that in, 0.4 times 30, and see if I get 12. I did get 12, so it's got to be 30, okay? Let's do another one. 8 is, and I was going to tell you, at any time, pause this video and you work the problem out first and then play it and see if you got it right. That would be a great learning tool, a great strategy to use as you learn new things, okay? So 8 is, I'm going to replace that with an equal sign. 20% of means times of what number? I'm going to put a question mark there, okay? I'm going to draw my dotted line down the equal sign. Again, here's my unknown. I need to undo multiplication, so I'm going to divide by the decimal form of 20%, so divide by 0.2, divide by 0.2, and 8 divided by 0.2 is going to give me 40. So question mark is 40. And again, I'm going to see if that makes sense. 20% of 40 is 8. 20%, so 0.2 times 40. Yep, I got 8. So all is good so far. I have just a few more. So far, I have not given you any where we're missing a percentage. So let's look at a few of those. Okay. Here we have 14 is what percent of 20? 14 is means equals what percent of 20? Okay, I'm going to draw my dotted line down, equal sign. Okay, I'm missing the percentage this time. Some percent of 20 is supposed to be 14. So again, I'm going to just solve this like an algebra problem. I'm going to divide by 20. I don't need to change that to a decimal because I'm missing a percent. That number is just 20. So if I divide that side by 20, then I'm going to divide this side by 20. So I'm going to just do 14 divided by 20, and I get 0.7. The question mark is 0.7. Well, that's the decimal form, so since I'm asking for the percentage, 0.7 as a percent is 70%. So 70% is my unknown. 14 is 70% of 20. Okay, let's look at another one of those. What percent of means times 15 is means equals 3. What percent of 15 is 3? Well, okay, here we go. Here's my unknown. I'm going to divide by 15. I'm going to divide by 15. And 3 divided by 15 gives me the decimal 0.2. And so 0.2 as a percentage is going to be 20%. I'm running out of room, so I'm going to put that over here. 20% of 15 is 3. And we can check. I could punch in 0.2 times 15 and see if I get out of 3. Yep, I did. Okay. All right, here we go. Last one. What percent, question mark, of means times 25 is means equals 17. Okay, here we go. How do I undo multiplication? Divide. Divide by 25 on this side. So 17 divided by 25 gives me the decimal 0.68. So as a percentage, that's going to be 68%. 68% of 25 is 17. Let me try that. 0.68 times 25, and let's see if I get out of 17. Yay, I did. I actually did get out of 17. I'll prove it. Okay, guys, good luck. Remember, I've got office hours. Check in anytime. 9 to 10 every day is my office hours. So check in, ask questions. I'd love to see you. Okay, bye. Thanks.